Hello, sports fan. This is Stephen Neal of Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering what's next for the Philadelphia 76ers. Before I get right into this, I want to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates, all the breakdowns every single time we have videos here at Sports Choice Plus. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The Philadelphia 76ers last season for the 24-25 season went 24-58. As 24 wins and 58 losses, they own the number 3 overall pick, which is their own, and also the number 35th overall pick in the second round. When you're looking at this last offseason, the Philadelphia 76ers committed over $800 million to Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Andre Drummond, Caleb Martin, and Ben Gordon. When you're looking at that massive group of signings and you're thinking of the extensions and you're thinking of all this stuff, that's a lot of money for a team to not even make the playoffs in the East. The East is the easier out of both conferences when you're talking about the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference, and you would think that they would have something, some way, shape, or form, with all the injuries, with all the resting of Joel Embiid and all the resting of Paul George, you would think they would have something to show for it, but they do not. Daryl Morey, the general manager for this team, has been doing a very bad job. And I'm just going to be honest with you. The draft assets are kind of what's the best thing for this team or what they actually have on a team. When you're thinking about Jared McCain, that's probably one of their best prized possessions. Also, Tyrese Maxey. These two guys have, when they're healthy, when they're on the floor, they've been producing. They played a lot of backup guys this past season, and you're looking at a lot of guys that'll get potentially looks at other teams and paid from what they did for the Sixers this season as good role players. But from the standpoint, the Sixers are going to be locked in this position for a long time. That's either until they get rid of Joel Embiid and Paul George, or until both these guys play a healthy season and they make the playoffs. I think that a lot was expected of these guys, and I think that they didn't play well. They never gelled. You got to think Joel Embiid tried to play for the Olympics, for the Olympic squad. He had a banged-up knee still coming into the season. Paul George never really fit, never really sunk into the offense, so it was hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. He was up and down throughout most of the season as far as his play. He did not look like the Paul George from the Clippers. He did not look like the Paul George from the Pacers. He looked like Paul George that was ready to retire. So several times he looked lackadaisical. He looked like he wasn't interested in playing or even being there. I think that this is kind of the downfall of taking the money from a team and trying to fit into a culture you don't fit into. Philadelphia fan base is different from other fan bases because they hold you accountable. Now, having the player options for Andre Drummond, Kelly Oubre Jr., and Eric Jr. play a role in the flexibility of Philadelphia's future. If they can get these guys to sign in or either take different contracts, it could be different. But I think having a Kelly Oubre that's a forward that can guard people, having an Andre Drummond that's a serviceable center, and having an Eric Gordon that's a serviceable 2-guard/3 guard can help this team moving forward. They just have to stay healthy. They have to prioritize getting younger in certain positions, and they also have to prioritize having their stars on the court when it's time to play. When you think of the likes of Boston, they'll be back next season. When you think of the likes of Cleveland, they'll be back next season. Orlando, they'll be back next season. A lot of the top-tier teams that essentially have either struggled or had injuries this past history of the playoffs are going to be back next season. So you're going to have to do something other than just keep this same core intact. You're going to have to make trades. You're going to have to make moves, and you're going to have to possibly trade away either Paul George or Joel Embiid. Because I think from that standpoint, you get out from under those contracts, you're able to be flexible a little bit more. So I don't see the Sixers getting better this season. I don't see them getting better next season either. But I think that, handing the keys over to Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain is going to be the thing that they're going to have to do. Regardless if they want to or not, if they want to win and keep their jobs, they're going to have to do what they have to do. And that's getting those two young men that I named the ball and allowing the rest of the guys to find their way as they go. This team is going from older to younger with their stars. And you got to think, you want Maxey to feel comfortable in his leadership role, and you also want, essentially, Jared McCain to feel comfortable in his second-year role. So I think for the Philadelphia 76ers, there's an expectation of them to make the playoffs and for them to challenge for an NBA title. That should be for every franchise. That's what every fan base holds them accountable to. So it's just my thought process of it. What do you feel about this? Get in the comment section below. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus. We'll see you in the next episode.